All right, the big story that we are tracking at this moment on Times Now is related to a charge sheet that has been filed by the Enforcement Directorate against journalist Rana Ayyub, and it has to do with charges of money laundering. Now, this charge sheet has been filed under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act based on a case filed in 2021, which has leveled some serious charges against her. The agency says Rana Ayyub illegally acquired funds from the public in the name of charity during the COVID-19 pandemic, but instead utilized those funds for herself. Not only does the agency claim that she tried to cheat the public, but also says she tried to project the funds as untainted. Now, let's tell you how the money trail has been established as per the ED charge sheet.
Well, absolutely. What we are going to do is, on a flow chart, we are going to show to you where exactly the funds were allegedly flowing. Now, remember, these are the allegations which are there in the Enforcement Directorate's charge sheet. So, there were 3 fundraisers in all, which were being held by Rana Ayyub. The first fundraiser, that was to help the slum dwellers and farmers. The second fundraiser was relief work for Assam, Bihar and Maharashtra. The third fundraiser was to help Rana Ayyub and her team to help those impacted by COVID-19 in India. So first for the farmers and slum dwellers, and then we are going to go back to the top of this, which is going to show where it then flew. These funds then were diverted. It was taken across to the bank account of Rana Ayyub's father and allegedly to the bank account of Rana Ayyub's sister. Following which, then it was taken to the bank account of Rana Ayyub herself. Now this, as per the allegations, is something which was the fund which was never really used for the reasons that it was collected. The way it was collected, if there was FCRA license or not, all of that is also being contended. But the basic contention that these were the 3 reasons why these funds were being used. Allegedly, it was not used for these 3 fundraisers as it was raised at the time for these 3 reasons, but it was diverted away as per the Enforcement Directorate for her personal use. Where did these funds go? We are going to show you that. The bank account of Rana Ayyub there, this is the breakup of the funds as per the Enforcement Directorate. 50 lakh rupees used to create fixed deposit, 50 lakh rupees transferred to another account, 29 lakh rupees used for relief work, and 1.77 crore rupees funds left in the frozen account. So only as per the Enforcement Directorate, 29 lakhs out of close to 3 crore rupees which was collected in those 3 fundraisers was used for working for the reasons, the purposes and for the upliftment of the poor and those ailing with COVID.
Let's also now listen in to the complainant in the case, revealing how he was first informed that he may have been victim of a COVID relief fraud where money was collected in the name of giving relief to those who had been affected by the pandemic, but instead was used for personal reasons.
This complaint was filed by Hindu IT cell volunteers in June 21, and the FCRA authorities did not first reply. So then we filed RTIs asking for status of a complaint. Now, once those RTIs are filed, what we realize is that Keto sends out an email to the donors of the campaign and says that the funds have not been utilized for the purpose that they were collected for. And that really raised some red flags as to what's really going on. Unfortunately, for those donors, the funds were already siphoned off by then. Once what happens is, now that the FCRA authorities have this in their matter, they have directed Keto to send a mail to the donors, probably being cheated, and this has to be taken up.
Now, the question that is being asked is this a coordinated crackdown on the ecosystem that has sought to malign the Modi government? They are under the scanner with the gravity of charges leveled against them. Can they continue to dismiss the probe as vendetta? Just some of the examples quoted are that of Sanjeev Bhatt, of Teesta Setalvad, and now of Rana Ayyub. Let us take it across to Tushar Gupta, senior editor of Swarajya, Rashmi Samant, former student union president at Oxford University and human rights activist, Advocate Kapil Madan, political analyst, and Ravi Srivastav, political analyst. Tushar Gupta, I want to start by you. Is it just a coincidence that you now have a case against Rana Ayyub as well? Like I quoted earlier, whether it be R.V. Srikumar, Teesta Setalvad, Medha Patkar, and now Rana Ayyub.
Well, it's not a coincidence, Padmaja. You know, there have been money trail that has been established. Now, let's start from the beginning. We are convinced by the likes of Rana Ayyub that all the cases against her are a consequence of her speaking against the Modi government. So it essentially becomes an issue of freedom of speech. That is not the case here. You go back to CAA, farm protests, you go back to the most recent COVID-19 scenario. Everywhere Rana Ayyub has taken a stance against the government, which is fine. That is a constitutional right. But she's also been indulging in misinformation, in agenda peddling that is not only anti-national, but suits the enemy narrative. Who can forget that during the CA protest, she was the one circulating a fake video of a mosque being torn down. So all in all, Rana Ayyub's credentials itself are under question. Now coming to the money trail. COVID-19 happened, a lot of charities came up. Rana Ayyub was not the only one to start with a charity. A lot of people who do not have the public visibility like Rana Ayyub does on Twitter started with charities. And no one of them has been under the scanner. But no one has also been accused of circulating the money they're collecting for charity for their personal use. But in this case, the ED has established that Rana Ayyub, for the money that is around 2.7 odd crore, which she collected for the, apparently she collected for the victims of COVID-19, that is somehow ending up in her bank account as FDs, that is somehow ending up in the bank account of her parents, and that all money has been coming from Keto fundraisers. Okay. So the question here is, it's not about the freedom of speech. It's not about what Rana Ayyub says against the government of India or the Modi government. It's about what she did with the money which she took on behalf of COVID-19 victims, and somehow it ended up in her personal bank account. That's all.
And that needs to be explained. That really is the gist of the entire investigation, Ravi Srivastav. How does one explain why money collected for COVID relief ended up in fixed deposit? Fine, you keep it in your bank account because you want to use it for various purposes. Fixed deposits? Why?
Padmaja, this appears to be a motivated charge sheet because she is an author of the Gujarat file, and that stigma carries on till date. The fact is, I am yet to establish that where is the fraud in it. The entire money is in the banks. 1.77 crores has been already seized by the ED. And the case, when it went before the judge, the honorable judge said 2.69 crore is a pittance. He used these words. I am not saying these words. So what I am saying is, all money is in the public domain.
Sir, actually, here is what the ED charge sheet says. Let me quote to you, sir. Money? Yes, you said what is the problem. Let me quote to you from the ED charge sheet. Ms. Rana Ayyub utilized these funds to create fixed deposits of 50 lakhs for herself and transferred 50 lakhs in a new bank account. ED investigation revealed that only approximately 29 lakhs were used for relief work. In order to claim more expenses towards relief work, fake bills were submitted. Subsequently, bank balances in the accounts of Ms. Rana Ayyub amounting to 1 crore 77 lakhs 27,704 rupees were attached. So two problems here. One, why did you make private fixed deposits? Two, why did you raise fake bills? These are preliminary 2 lines I am reading to you from the charge sheet. Your response.
Right. Agree with you. These are the things which are to be substantiated. These are the one side ED's charge. These evidences are to be legally scrutinized with the defense. And these bills are fake. This is to be proved.
Okay,
so
Rashmi Samant. Okay, so first you started by saying what is the irregularity, everything is accounted for. Now when I'm pointing out the irregularity stated, you are saying oh, it's only in the realm of a charge sheet, nothing has been proven, Rashmi Samant.
Well, I think all of the charges are based on forensic accounting, and we need to respect the fact that here we are talking about the ED and not Washington Post that would just publish anything without legislative proof. That being said, I think it is very important that money laundering under the guise of charity be strictly addressed, because this is, it is basically a violation of the trust that the public places in an individual. And if this goes on unchecked, then the act of charity as a whole is going to come under question within the country. People are already very skeptical about donating because of such scams. And, the more the ED catches these people, the more, people are going to have confidence in the future to ever, donate to charities.
Kapil Madan, so that there is a larger issue which is raised by Rashmi Samant here, and unfortunately this is not the only case. There is at least one other case of somebody who crowdfunded and then said, oh, these were my service charges because of the work that I was doing. You're taking money in the name of charity and you are creating wealth for yourself. And then you call it a witch hunt and it's investigated.
So, Padmaja ji, investigating any kind of crime is the prerogative of the investigating agencies, and there should be investigation. There cannot be any doubt or, second thoughts about it. Now, one of our panelists has raised the issue that you are basically doing an illegality in the name of charity. So you will discourage the entire people, who are there, for humanitarian causes. I mean, that's a, blot on everyone's face. Now, I will take the same logic and I will quote you two instances here. Now, we also have a Prime Minister Relief Fund. When you file an RTI and seek information, which is a PM Care Fund, which was, initiated keeping in view the COVID situation. Now, you will not give response to the RTI, giving details how those funds have been spent. Now,
actually,
if you
there
apply,
is a regular audit done of the PM Cares Fund.
मेरे को complete करने दो.
Okay, go on.
Complete करने दो. उसके बाद.
Go on. Yes.
Okay. Now, this is hypocrisy. While you want to, there should not be a diversion of funds by anyone. If anyone is doing it, you should investigate and you should prosecute. There is no problem about that.
But sir, every year, that's what I'm trying to tell you, if there is a diversion of funds, there is an annual audit done of PM Cares Fund. You can literally go there, check the audit for yourself and find out which money has gone where.
Now,
अरे भाई, आप जाके audit check कर लो ना. सारा डेटा है वहाँ पे. आपको पता अगर करना है कि 2020-21 में कितना spend.
No, they don't divulge that details. It is there I will forward you the report. They don't say that we don't come under the RTI.
Tushar Gupta, you go after people who are collecting small amounts like 2.69 crores while PM Cares Fund remains opaque. Answer that. Let him answer.
No.
Answer this. Tushar Gupta, go on.
I am not defending Rana Ayyub for a minute. I am saying that
you are talking about the opacity of PM Cares. Let Tushar Gupta answer. What about accounting for PM Cares? How do we know there is not dhandli happening there? Tushar Gupta.
Padmaja, 2.7 crore rupees might be a small amount for Rana Ayyub, given the lobbies she's backed by, given the portals she writes for. But for 98% of India's population, that's a huge amount. So it deems investigation. That's not the point. Talking of PM Relief Care, I think you're right. It is audited everywhere. So what the ED is saying is, there has been a channeling of funds which has been misappropriated. We need to investigate that. Why is everyone so rattled if Rana Ayyub thinks she's right? She just put out a tweet an hour ago that her pen will not be silenced. And to point out Ravi Srivastav also, the book you talk about, the Gujarat files, the Supreme Court has discarded it as fiction. So what freedom of expression, what book, what Gujarat?
Respond. Kapil Madan first and Ravi Srivastav. Yes.
Kapil Madan here is a lawyer. Kapil Madan here is a lawyer. No. Kapil, a very good friend, is a lawyer. Kapil, a very good friend, is a lawyer. He will tell you that the Supreme Court of all things has discarded Rana Ayyub's work on Gujarat riots.
People suicided. You mean to say that? It's a fiction. 1,500 people suicided. You mean to say the Gujarat files is a fiction? What kind of statement are you making, sir?
No, Mr. Srivastav, I'll explain it to you. I'll explain it to you as if I were to explain to a child. The perception which Rana Ayyub wants to create around Godhra is not what it is. Mr. Srivastav, listen. Mr. Srivastav, the Gujarat riots happened, people died. No one is calling that out.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that Rana Ayyub's version of events, what she puts out in the Gujarat files, is discarded by the Supreme Court of India. Bottom line.
Okay, I think just to give clarity, sir, in conclusion, since we suddenly came upon Gujarat files, you may have missed it. I'm quoting to you verbatim from an order of a Supreme Court in a case where Rana Ayyub's book was also quoted, where the Supreme Court in its judgment has said a book by Miss Rana Ayyub has been relied upon, in which it has been observed that Haren Pandya's case is like a volcano. A book by Rana Ayyub is of no utility. It is based on surmises, conjectures, suppositions and has no evidentiary value. The opinion of a person is not in the realm of evidence. There is a likelihood of the same being politically motivated, quoting verbatim from what the Supreme Court said. That being said, this is not about the book, but it is about this present case. If indeed it is about money laundering, there needs to be an explanation and not just saying it's an attack on my journalism. Consequently also, the agency will have to prove that the charges, serious as they are concrete and backed by evidence. Thanks very much, all gentlemen. Rashmi Samant for joining me. Quick break.